So welcome back, everyone. My next guest has been on with me for years. I have with me Mike Salazar, and he's the owner of Pass Fire Protection. We're live on Facebook, so I do say hi to everybody out there. Pass. It's pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Tell everybody what that means and why you have that.
You just told them what it meant.
I know, but you tell them.
Sweep. So that's the acronym to use your fire extinguisher that you guys have located in your house or your business. They try to make it simple, something easy to remember, so that when you do go to use it, you won't have to think. You'll just know how to do it. So that's pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. Pull the pin, aim the nozzle, squeeze the handle, and sweep back and forth at the base of the fire.
Now we're going to open up the lines of the audience for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. Now I know you can't wait to get that, and I'll tell you why. You should have it. And you might even already have a fire extinguisher, but it might be older. You might have bought one online. What's the difference between yours and the ones that they, can buy online?
Ours are going to be serviceable. You know where you're getting it. You know where to take it back when you want it serviced. You're not going to want to buy something and then forget about it. We'll also instruct you on how to use it if you don't know how to use it. We can have you try them. I mean, it's just when you're online, you're looking for a good deal and you're going to get a good deal, but do you really know what you're buying?
Do you really want to find out if that was a good deal or not when you're dealing with a fire that you got to put out?
Yeah,
because that's what it's going to show you.
Exactly. We know ours works. Over there, you don't know if it's going to work or not because you're getting it, opening it out of a box, and there you go.
Yeah. I want to ask you, people that have had them for a long time, underneath their sink, they're trying to do the right thing to make sure they're safe. They've had them for years, but it's in the right. Tell them what happens to them if they've had them for a long time.
They're probably not going to work. They're usually going to get hard, kind of like that baking soda that you have in your refrigerator. If you don't change it out, the humidity, different things get to it, and it becomes hard. It's very crusty. That's what's going to happen to the extinguisher. So if you go to pull it and aim it and squeeze it, then you might not get anything out, or it's not going to be effective like you're going to be wanting or hoping.
Now, listen up, everyone. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. And let me tell you, if somebody's buying a new home, give them one as a gift.
Yeah.
If you don't have one, everyone should have one. You also should know where they are, which is a big thing. A lot of people don't, and how to use it correctly. So we're going to open up our lines here. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. And I'm going to let everyone call throughout the rest of the show. When you work with people, okay, you do other things than just residential. I want you to talk about that real quickly.
Yeah, we do commercial properties. We do everything in fire. We do fire sprinkler systems. We do fire alarm systems. We do kitchen hood systems. We do backflow preventer inspections and service. And we do extinguishers, emergency lights. We do all the fire life safety equipment. We manage it. We inspect it, test it, maintain it. And if we don't know, we'll get you in touch with the right people. Now,
coming back to residential, okay? A lot of people today have electric cars.
Yes.
They're going on fire quite a bit.
Oh, absolutely.
Let's talk about them.
Well, number one, make sure you're getting the right outlet for your charger that is the right size. And then, yes, when you plug it in, there's always that danger with these batteries. It's still a little unstable, so you got to make sure that you're protected. Make sure that you know that you have the right source and that you park that thing properly and have those extinguishers in case something goes wrong. You're going to be able to be the first defense.
You know what? You need to know how to use it. You need to know, which is what you do. You'll show people how to use it, how to do that's called pull, aim, squeeze, sweep, pass. Pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. And how easy is that to do?
Well, if you do it often, it's very easy, but if you never do it, it does get a little intimidating because maybe you can't get the pin out right away. So then now you're even more stressed because the pin's not coming out. Or maybe you're going to squeeze too hard, too long, make a huge mess when you don't really need to. Or, you're going to leave the hose attached, you're not going to be aiming, or you're going to aim at the wrong spot. Maybe you're aiming at the fire, which is going to spread the chemical past the fire. That's why you want to aim at the base so that it's going to hit and then cover the fire.
How many people are going to think about those things when they're, there's this fire that they have to put out? And fires happen pretty easily.
Oh, all the time.
All
yes.
the time.
Yep. And just think, I mean, it's not just your kitchen, your garage. You store a lot of chemicals in there. You don't have chemical storage lockers. You're not putting your paint in a flammable locker. You're not putting your thinners, any of your other chemicals, your dirty rags. When you grill, you have propane tanks. You have your house that catches on fire. If you're not watching your grill and whatever you're grilling goes on fire, now it catches your house or your patio on fire. There's many opportunities for a fire to occur.
Unfortunately, we should have more than one. Because of that, you should have at least one in the garage for sure, in the kitchen, but you should also have one outside. I'll tell you something, I knew somebody whose barbecue blew up.
Yeah.
Okay, and he was hurt terribly.
Oh, yeah.
These things happen, and you've got to make sure, one of the things that you have to make sure of too is where you're putting the barbecue,
Yep.
right? If you have it close to the house, I'm sorry, but that's not a good place to be.
No, it's convenient, but yes, it's a huge risk. You're taking into consideration how close it is to the house, because if anything goes wrong, if that meat that you're grilling catches on fire, then it's going to catch your house on fire or whatever's around there. If you have awnings, if you have patio coverings, there's a lot of things to take into consideration.
Your website is pastfireprotection.com. You're rated with the Better Business Bureau. You work statewide with other things, but today, right now, I like to always offer everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher. It's probably one of the most important things that people should have, not only in your house, in your offices, but in your cars. That's another one,
Yep.
especially with all these electric cars that are going around now. And outside, obviously, I think I said that already. But on boats, there's a
Yep, boats and your recreational vehicles that you're taking out, those things are very expensive. I've come to find out those Can-Ams and other vehicles like that, you should have an extinguisher on that. You're in the middle of the desert. First of all, you want to protect your equipment. Second of all, if something was to happen out there and you start a brush fire, it'd be so much nicer for you to be able to put that out than calling in 911. And we know how fast those things accelerate
Right.
and cause more problems.
But make sure that you are getting a quality fire extinguisher. You can't just go online and buy one on Amazon and expect it to work the same way as yours.
Exactly, because if you do buy it on Amazon, you can read the instructions, but would you understand the instructions? And then also, it's important to get the right size. Maybe you're just looking at something, you're looking at cost. Well, they come in different sizes. There's 2.5 pounders, there's 5 pounders, 10 pounders, 20 pounders. There's a bunch of different sizes. So
And the one that you give away on the show is what?
The 5-pound
The
one?
5-pound
Yes.
one, and it's better than any one that you're gonna try and buy online. I know what they have, and you have to make sure too that, when you have to pull,
Yep.
right? Some of those things are plastic.
Yes.
Can you imagine it breaks off,
Yep.
and now what do?
Or it doesn't come out. The
That's
plastic
worse.
ones they're a challenge. At least with the metal, with the pull pins, they're a little bit more durable. They're going to slide in and out a lot easier.
Tell them what you mean by that. You service them, because people think, how do you service that? How do you service it?
Well, we service them by discharging them into a special container. Then we break them apart. We look inside to make sure that they're not corroded, damaged, dinged, no cracks. Then we'll put it all back together, we'll refill it, and we'll pressurize it again.
If I'm getting a fire extinguisher, this is the one I want, and you can call it here and get entered in to win. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You're a real estate agent. What a great gift. I know it sounds silly, but it's a great gift to give to people buying a home, just buying a home, or if you're a real estate agent, that's a great gift to give to somebody.
Yeah, or maybe you're a used car salesperson. It's like, man, you want to get them in there, maybe offer them an extinguisher for that new car they just bought.
So you can call in here, get entered in to win a fire fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369. Check him out on his website. It's passfireprotection.com. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. What I love about what you do is, you work with the big guys and the big guns, but you like to help everybody. I love that about you.
Yes, and there's a lot of people that don't even know, like in their homes they actually have fire sprinkler systems and they don't know who to get in touch with. So now they're Googling people, but we can help you maintain your fire sprinkler systems there. If you have leaks, or if you have missing discussions, or if you have anything that is going wrong, you don't know who to call, you get a hold of us, and like I said, we'll be able to help you out on all those homes that have fire sprinkler systems.
The phone number is 602-833-9117. It's passfireprotection.com. That means pull, aim, squeeze, sweep. We've got our lines open here for everyone to get entered in to win a fire extinguisher at 602-277-5369. So when you are working, when you go in and when you see people, let's talk about that. People that, you've seen fires and what happens, especially in homes, and how fast they go up, especially here in Arizona.
Yeah, it's faster than people think. I mean, you think you have a lot of time, but you really don't. I mean, you're talking like 5 minutes. It's pretty engulfed and scary. Then you're really panicking.
Yeah. The fires go, I almost started one.
Yeah.
Okay? And the fire, I didn't even realize it because I was out thinking about something else completely.
Yeah.
Okay? And man, and it was just I think I had some oil in a pan. That thing went up so high.
Yeah.
Crazy. And I was only I felt I was gone for only a couple of minutes, but maybe I was gone longer, I don't know. But it can happen to anybody.
It does. That's what happens in restaurants too. A lot of times somebody will start the oil to heat it up. They'll go to the back to grab something. Next thing you know,
Wow.
it gets out of hand.
I know.
But they have hood systems which helps protect them. But still, it's like, you just don't know how fast it can. For years and years, they were talking about like don't leave candles lit in your house because if they melt, if they fall over, then they can start your table on fire. They can start curtains on fire. They can start posters, whatever. There was a lot of dangers with that too.
Right. And I think what people don't understand is they don't know what to do.
No,
right. Of course you think I know what to do, and I've had done my show for how long? I take the handle and I bring it over to the sink, and I'm putting water. It's going worse.
Oh yeah, you
right?
never want to put water in things.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll talk about that in a minute. And the curtains were right. It could have been a disaster, right?
Oh, yeah. No, for sure. And that's why you have to know how to get out of your house, know where your exits are, know all that stuff. It's very important.
Yeah.
Because, you don't have time to think when something like that happens.
No, and I even think even when you think you know, you forget.
Oh yeah, unless you do it all the time.
Yeah.
You don't have the muscle memory.
Yeah, I can imagine.
No, it is a challenge. That's why it's good for people to think about it, because if they don't think about it, then they're never,
No, it's not something. That's the thing, is you don't ever think about it until it happens.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And that's almost with anything with people, especially when it comes to, let's say, having insurance for things.
Yes.
They don't even think about it until something bad happens, and then they call, right?
Yeah, and then they realize, oh, you weren't protected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you didn't do this, so you're not covered. It's like, oh my gosh. Yeah, especially with the insurances, if you don't keep those up to date, the housing costs, you're only protected for what you bought that insurance policy for.
Wow. Here we go. So I'm back, and we've got our lines open here for everyone to win a fire extinguisher. You're getting entered in to win. I know it sounds crazy, but it's probably one of the best things you ever had. And again, explain to people who are, just tuning in, tell them the difference between yours and some of the ones they could buy online.
Well, ours are going to be constructed, with metal and the metal handles. They're going to have metal pull pins. Everything's no plastic to it, because the plastics, in this heat too, especially if you have it in the wrong spot, plastic's going to disintegrate in this heat. The plastic you can't service, because once you pull it apart, try to put it back together, it never stays sealed. The plastic have plastic pull pins which could break. or may not come out as easily, so it just really causes panic when somebody's trying to use that thing.
Well,
So
it's just like anything. There's fire extinguishers, and then there's fire extinguishers.
Yep.
And we've got everyone getting entered in to win a nice fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll-free is 1-866-536-1100. Everybody should have one.
Yes.
We were talking at the break, I was telling them how I literally almost started my own fire. It can happen to anyone and so easy. And you think you know what to do, but you said, I mean, people forget.
Yes, unless it's muscle memory, you're doing it all the time, then you're not going to think about it. But if you're not doing it all the time, you need to think about it so that you are prepared. And if there is a fire in your house, we're just talking about how fast those fires can
Go up in
go
flames.
up and take your whole house. Yeah, and so do you know where your extinguisher is? Do you know how to use it? Do you know how to get out of your house? Do you have more than one way to get out of your house? Because if that one way is blocked, how else are you going to get out? So there's a lot of things to think about, but we don't think about it because we don't experience this on a day-to-day basis.
What I think people also should know is that what they might have a fire extinguisher in their kitchen or bathroom or what have you. Usually those little ones,
Yeah.
right? Those little ones.
Yep.
But they probably don't work, and that's the biggest problem is that people think that they have something there that's going to work when you need it just because you bought it to be safe, and that is not the case.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just think about a flashlight, right? We all probably have them, and then when you have that blackout, you go to grab your flashlight, it doesn't work, you're like, oh my God. But
I
at
know,
least that's
same thing.
just in the dark. Now, imagine if you have a fire and you go grab your extinguisher, it doesn't work, that's a whole different situation. But you can see how easy it is to forget about something and know if it's gonna work when you need it.
We've talked about this many times before, that a lot of people, they even might have a fire extinguisher, like in an office, because people have them, but no one knows where they are, where it is, right?
Oh,
You
absolutely.
and you walk by it every day, but you don't see it because you just don't look, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, because I do this for a living, I'm always looking at these things, and it's not just a house, you're right. I go to many different places, very small businesses, and I look and I'm like, well, they have an extinguisher, but there's no tag. It has the original package still on it. And I'm like, how long has that been there? And nobody's even looking at that. So they do have this extinguisher, but again, if you're not servicing it, do you know it's going to work? And so it's important to get it maintained. It's important to get it inspected.
It's funny because we talk about maintaining things a lot on the show,
Yes.
because we all have things in our house that we never think about maintaining. This is definitely one of them. Not
Yes.
everybody would think to do that.
Oh, no, absolutely, because that's not your business, so why would you think about it? You're more focused on what it
Having
is
fun
you
in your
do on
house
a
and
day-to-day.
barbecuing.
Yeah, exactly. Or what chores you have. You're like, oh my God, I gotta get through all this laundry, but are you thinking about, well, what happens if that dryer vent's not cleaned out properly and that starts on fire when you're doing your laundry? Something you're gonna do every day, every night, maybe you put it to dry and you leave, it's like, are you prepared? We're
Yeah.
not.
It's all about being prepared.
It is.
And it's when you have other things that could go up in flames, it's about maintaining them. And when we talk about fires, right, and you say, dryer vents,
Yes.
fire can happen in your
Yep.
bathroom in those little tiny vents, right? From,
Oh, yeah.
it's
Vents
amazing
and all
where
that
they can
stuff.
come. And when it happens, you gotta be prepared. And having a fire extinguisher is probably the first thing that you should have. The one that works, that's the most important, and that you know how to use it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. We want to protect what we have, right? We've spent a lot of money on our houses, on our cars. If we can protect them with the extinguisher, we're going to save ourselves a lot of headaches because, yes, we're all insured, but if you've ever dealt with insurance companies, it's not fun. And the amount of damage that can happen to your house by just letting it go, and then you're going to be put out, you're going to be struggling to try to get your payments. I mean, I was just listening to the radio and they were talking about all those fires that happened in California and how so many people, it's been years and they still haven't got payments, and now they're finally starting to get payments. And so it's like, man, do you want to go through that? We never want to put ourselves in that situation, so just be prepared and have an understanding, like, it may never happen, but if it does, I'm ready for it.
That number to call here is 602-277-5369. Call in here and get yourself entered in to win a fire extinguisher. Everybody should have at least one.
Yes,
Right?
absolutely.
Your website is passfireprotection.com, and pass stands for pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. And by the way, when you go to aim it, you got to know where you're aiming it to.
Yes, know where to go. Yes, you don't want to waste it. You want to make sure you're using it properly. Aim it at the base of the fire.
Right. And then the other thing that I wanted to talk about, we talk about garages and stuff like that. Jay Leno,
Yeah.
who has a lot of cars, and how many of them, I don't know how that fire started in his garage.
Yeah.
Look what happened to him.
No, absolutely. Yeah, it's all that fuel that they have in there. That's why when you go to some of these big places, they don't let you have that much fuel, like the Barrett Jacksons, that was going on. You don't keep those cars full of fuel there for a reason. But again, we just never know when a fire is going to occur, so we have to try to be prepared for it all the time. If we knew when it was going to happen, then we'd obviously be prepared. But since we don't know, it makes a huge difference.
And you guys put yourselves in positions where the fires can happen so easily. We get distracted, right? You go, you have your barbecue, and you leave for just a few minutes to go do something because you forgot what you needed in the house for it, and bingo.
Oh, exactly. Or how many people, when they're done grilling, they turn off the burners. But do you close the valve on your propane tank, or do you leave it open so it's easy next time you just turn on your burner and you hit the pilot? So now you have this valve that's open. If that hose, anything happens to that hose, and
That
all
whole
this
thing's
exposed
blowing up.
gas, you know what I mean? So it's like, are we closing those propane tanks after we're done cooking it? I mean, just something small. Like
Little
that.
things like that are so important. I personally would close mine because I wouldn't want a big giant blow up I can just see it now.
Oh yeah, there's just so many things we don't think about because it's not our business. Again, we know our business, so you don't have to know, but you know your business, so you never think about what we do.
But what you do need to know is when you're going to be prepared, how to be prepared the correct way. And having a fire extinguisher from Pass Fire Protection, you're getting a quality 5 pound, you said.
Yep.
It's a 5 pounds quality, I'll get it out, fire extinguisher. And it's so important just to anybody who should have at least, like, say, 2 at least. I wanted to also talk a little bit about, we're coming up to the holidays, and the people going in their, boats and going, you have to have when they're, I don't even think people think about fires on boats, but it can happen.
Oh yeah, and just think about how far you're going to have to swim if that boat goes up, or how easy it is to put something out so you still have a boat to get back to the shore.
Okay, the other thing that I also want to talk about again is electric cars, because everybody has them.
Yep, they're getting way more popular. So be prepared, yes, and make sure that you're being safe, your outlets are properly sized and installed correctly. That when you're charging them, just be careful, read all the instructions, and be prepared to have something prepared. So if it does go bad, you can help mitigate that damage.
And I know somebody who literally could not charge his car because it was the wrong size.
Yeah.
Okay? It wouldn't work. And so they call somebody, come in, and they rinky-dinked.
Yep.
That is the last thing that you want to do. You need to get something that's quality there too, because if you just call anybody and they kind of make it work.
Yeah, you want to make sure you have the right size wires, the right size breaker, you have enough room in your box to add that much amperage. And there's a lot to think about.
In the summertime here too, we have a lot of car fires.
Oh, you see them driving all the time, even semis. So, we don't know why they happen, but we see them happening.
They do. It's hot here. That's why they happen.
Exactly.
So call in here, get yourself entered into win. It's a fire extinguisher, and our number here is 602-277-5369. You're going to love it that you did it. You can check him out. It's his website. It's passfireprotection.com. They're rated with the Better Business Bureau. They're going to come in and show you how to pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. You're going to be so happy that you had it, because now you're going to really truly be prepared. So call in here, get entered into win. Our number here is 602-277-5369, or toll free it's 1-866-536-1100.